pressure bursts pipes, but pressure always also makes diamonds, right? And I want to know, when heading into the NFL playoffs, which player has the most pressure on them to perform at a high level and win in the playoffs? Which player has the most pressure?
I think there's two, and I think they're pretty obvious. It's Josh Allen and Jalen
And then I
Hurts.
take
And Jalen
okay,
Hurts.
okay,
The reasoning, I'll start with Josh Allen.
yeah, go ahead.
Josh Allen has been the guy who's almost been there for the last 5 to 7 years, right? And the kryptonite, the 13 seconds, you think back on all these, it's never been Josh Allen who wasn't playing well in the postseason. You've had everything, he's done everything he needed to do, and then 13 seconds is left and Kansas City goes and kicks a field goal and wins the game, right? So their kryptonite has very clearly been the Kansas City Chiefs, and they are not in the dance. And that is going to create an environment for Josh Allen, and has created an environment that puts a lot of pressure on him, not only to win, but to go win the whole thing. And I think that is, I understand it, but this team, this roster, is not the same team it's been over the last few years. And as much as I understand why the pressure's there, I think if I'm fair about it, we both like to talk about how, certain conversations that happen in the media kind of bother us. One of those is that quarterbacks carry teams, because this is the ultimate team sport. I don't think Buffalo has a very good complete team. I think they have the best quarterback, but I don't think that matters sometimes, because at the end of the day, you got to have a complete team. And this team, as much as I say, yeah, Kansas City's not in it, there's a lot of good teams, complete teams, that are better in other phases, especially defensively, than the Buffalo Bills are. And Josh Allen can only do so much. The other player I mentioned, I do believe if they are one and done, it will be the loudest. And that's because Jalen Hurts and this offense has had a lot of criticism, right? If you talk about a head coach and a quarterback that could receive the most amount of criticism, if the Niners come into Philadelphia after he didn't start the players in that Week 18 game to even try for a win against a bad Commanders team, right? And they basically forfeited trying to go for the 2 seed. If the Niners come in and beat that team, it is going to be so loud in Philadelphia.
Well,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I'm gonna jump in there. I'm gonna jump in there, and I'm gonna say the reason I wouldn't put Jalen Hurts at 2 is because of those decisions. I think he has 2 people that are more dysfunctional
Oh yeah.
above him on his own team,
Oh yeah.
right? Talking about the head coach,
Nick
the head coach,
Sirianni.
and then
Yep.
yeah, Sirianni, and then AJ
For
Brown,
sure.
right? I think in a normal organization where there's not a lot of distractions and not a lot of chaos, Jalen Hurts will put himself clearly on a hot seat and
Yep.
on the pressure cooker. But because AJ Brown continues to double down every week, because the head coach Nick Sirianni refuses to do normal head coach stuff, right, and take things left, I think that the blame before it gets down to Jalen Hurts, it'll go to those 2 guys too, because they've been disruptive, and Jalen Hurts has that likability factor.
So here's the part, and you know how much we both love Jalen, defend him. I
Yeah,
felt
for
like,
sure.
especially coming in the summer, being on the back half of a top 10 list, ridiculous things, right? But if you look at you think of that Chargers game where he threw the 5 interceptions. He's had some uncharacteristically bad games, especially this back half of the year, right? And I think that if he plays bad, right, if he doesn't have a good game, it could be very loud for him, because the criticism of Jalen Hurts coming off of, I've never seen a quarterback win an MVP, win a Super Bowl, come into a year and have everybody tell him he ain't shit. Literally. I don't remember the last time. It's never happened. And that's the part, I think, when you talk about people waiting for their opportunity to take their shot, almost similar to what just happened with Lamar Jackson with Baltimore, I could see that happening in Philadelphia. They're just waiting for an opportunity to take a shot at Jalen Hurts if he doesn't play good. I don't anticipate that happening, because I think the Eagles are going to get hot, and I think they're going to be just fine. But I do know that Philadelphia as a market is a nightmare, and they will riot if they lose to the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, no, it would definitely be ugly. And I think the way they win or lose, right, is going to
Yes,
matter
big
too. I
time.
think it's going to matter who puts up points and who makes key decisions, who drops a football, who gives full effort. But I think the fans are ready, in which the Philadelphia Eagle fans are always ready to blame somebody.
yeah.
They're ready to be pissed off about
Oh,
something.
they're ready
Right?
to boo Santa Claus. I mean, they boo
Yeah,
everybody, right? That's Philly fans are ready. on deck waiting to boo their Super Bowl champion, winning MVP quarterback. Literally, like this is who Philly is as a fan base. So I'm very curious though, since you said you better not take mine, so I didn't take yours. Who do you have on your list?
Yeah, so we both agree with Josh Allen, but like you, I decided to add in another name, right? And my dark horse name is Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love has some pressure on him to deliver, and the reason is this: is that we discussed it on yesterday's show, right? But Jordan Love has pressure on him to deliver in the playoffs because everybody's going to be comparing him to what Malik Willis did those couple games that Malik Willis was in, right? And you heard the fan base talk about, wait, there's another added element to this offense that Matt LaFleur can do with Malik Willis, and that was the run game. Malik Willis, I think he had two games where he had over 50 yards rushing, but passing the football, he had 80% completion percentage in both games, right? So that showed efficiency and another element to this game. And I think when you look at Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers fans, they have the benefit of we've been looking at two Hall of Fame quarterbacks in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers for the past 30 years, right? So they know what good quarterback plays look like. And I think now they're watching Jordan Love and saying, wait, this is good, but I don't know if this is great, right? And I think that's starting to be the question. Is this good, not great? And it doesn't compare to Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre in the past. So I think he has some pressure to play well in these football games because of the Malik Willis factor, but also him being compared to Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre.
I think that's it's funny that you mentioned him because I almost put him in this list too, for all the reasons you said. But one, obviously they made a lot of picks to bolster this offense, right? For the first time in a long time. They went and got Matthew Golden in the first round. Said they did things they haven't done in a long time. And I understand that Micah's not playing, but they went all in because they believe in their quarterback. And then their quarterback has been all over the place. And they can lose this game, but if Jordan Love has a bad game, it will be loud in Green Bay. Because fans are already upset about the Malik Willis situation. There's already conversation. We talked about it on our last show about Matt LaFleur being called overrated. He and Geitenhus haven't been given a contract going into next year. This is going to be a very interesting weekend matchup because Jordan Love deserves to have some of that on him because this team, he has been given a contract to be a top quarterback in the NFL, and in my opinion, didn't earn it. And this is an opportunity to show that he earned it.
Yeah, and I think this is going to put the Packers in another rare situation. We're talking about over the past 30 years. When has there been a situation where over the past 30 years where the Green Bay Packers haven't had the best quarterback in the division?
They haven't.
Right? They don't know how it feels to not have the best quarterback in the division to where you feel like the Chicago Bears are trending upwards with Caleb Williams and then potentially Jordan Love with Matt LaFleur. They kind of at a stalemate. And you walk into every divisional game almost as the favorite, right? Without a doubt, you're the favorite because you have Aaron Rodgers or you have Brett Favre. The Green Bay Packers could be entering a season that they haven't experienced in over 30 plus years.
Yeah, and they didn't play well. They haven't won a game since Micah got injured. They just haven't looked good. This team has not looked good. And Jordan Love, I know, has been injured, but the excuses are kind of out the window because of how you've seen Malik Willis play. And I think that part that you brought up, that's the big part of this that almost made me put him in the list as well, is because the fans are all riled up about Malik Willis, it is going to put a spotlight on Jordan Love. And does he fold under that pressure, right? Has he been listening to the Malik Willis conversation? Sometimes that happens, right? Players all like to say that they don't pay attention, and that's a bold-faced lie.
Yeah, and let's be honest about the evaluations, right? Well, and this is what I'm starting to understand. A lot of these quarterbacks, right, whether they're drafted first, second, or third round, a lot of their reason to why they're drafted is hype based. Because if you put Malik Willis right next to Jordan Love and tell him throw the football, it's going to look similar. And there's not a knock on either guy; it's just that either guy is supremely talented when it comes to arm strength and arm talent, right? And so then when you go to their evaluation, you say, okay, cool, coming out of college, what did they struggle with? Reading defenses and throwing the football into difficult situations and turnovers, right? And that fits the mold for both of those guys. So now you're asking yourself, okay, wait, we're paying one quarterback $55 million and one quarterback $500,000, and they do the same exact thing. I have to put the same exact guardrails up for each quarterback, but they also give me the opportunity for the same exact, I guess, ceiling, right? Or opportunity to be an explosive quarterback. So I think that makes it very difficult. And it's going to be something that Packers fans, the front office, right? Everybody's going to have to rationalize with moving forward.
Oh, I hope and pray that on Sunday morning I'm waking up to watch Packer fans argue their mothers about whether or not they want Jordan Love moving forward. I pray for that. It's a joy to be here. It's a joy to be here. That's all I have to say.
Well, listen, if your Chicago Bears get it done, I can guarantee you that's going to be the conversation. I would tell you this: don't even worry about going to sleep because it's going to happen instantly,
Oh yeah,
right?
100%. The moment the
You want
clock hits 0 is going to be a conversation for sure.